Hello, everyone. I am back to doing true crime readings. We're going to hop back into it with this high school catfish saga. Thank you to everyone for your patience. Gavin is back in school, so I am back to having time to do true crime. So, um, I have watched Annie Elise's 10 to Life's, I think she posted it yesterday, 2 days ago, update on this, in which she's talking about how there's a lot that she came to know that's not included in the documentary. I did not watch the documentary yet. I wanted to do this reading first, but that video popped up and I couldn't turn it off, so I just kept it on. So that's what I know so far, and then I have an article up, and we're gonna go off of that. I am going to watch. I'm gonna try to watch the documentary. But if I do that and then go into the first reading, it's going to be a lot different because I'm going to be mad. So I want to try and just do this first. As always, this is an energy reading. It's all alleged, my opinions, not facts. We're going to be using, I was going to use a themed deck, but I want to just kind of go into it with as little bias as possible. So we're just going to use a regular deck, and then we have whispers, and we also have echoes of the unsolved now. So let's begin. I'm just going to kind of go over the info first and see where that leads us. So the documentary is called Unknown Number, The High School Catfish. For those who are not aware of this at all, it's a young girl in high school. Her and her boyfriend were extremely heavily bullied. Come to later find out it was her mom. Like, police had to get involved in all of that. Okay, so back to this. In fall of 2020, 13-year-old Lauren and her boyfriend Owen began receiving strange, harassing texts from an unknown number. Now, in Annie's video, she was saying that, and again, I didn't watch the documentary yet, but she was saying that the mom was claiming something along the lines of, well, I sent some and I intended to stop and then I couldn't, or I didn't start it, but then I picked up, something like that. So let's look at the origin of this. Where did this start? When Lauren and Owen started receiving these strange, harassing texts, what was the energy on the other side of it? Like, genuinely wanting to push them closer together by the mother, right? Let me show me the mother's energy. Not really worried about being a mother. I'm just trying to get what I want. I don't know where to go with that. Why did she want them? Why? Ace of Cups and Knight of Cups reversed. Show me a card for the mother wanting to kind of relive a bad experience that she herself had through her daughter. Like, I didn't experience the love at that age that I wanted, that I see her having the potential to experience. So for me to close out that cycle as in the mother, I'm going to relive that through her so I would know what it would have felt like. Healing and completion of a cycle. What? All right. So she wanted to live vicariously through her daughter so she could understand what something felt like that she herself did not get to experience, that she always held resentment for the world at her, as in the mother, not being able to experience it. I'm angry at the world. And it gets to the point where when I see I can have this experience through my daughter, I feel like it's owed to me. So that's why I do it, the Emperor. All right. Was there any feelings towards or about Owen? So that felt to be entirely about Lauren. And I mean, I guess I'd say the way that Owen treated and or looked at and or held space for Lauren was what was envied. Was this about Owen in the beginning, or was this just about Lauren in the beginning? Three of Cups in reverse, Page of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Swords. No, I think it was just about Lauren in the beginning and living vicariously through her. I mean, I would say Owen played a part, especially in terms of communication. Either the way that Lauren talked about Owen and or the way that Owen talked to Lauren. Um, Intellectual equals is something that's coming through where the mother didn't get to experience that. That's what fell apart for the mother. Yeah, Eight of Cups in reverse. Like, I can't let this go. I need to have this experience. What's the mother's shadow around what made that initial part happen? The shadow regarding, I didn't get to experience this. I need to experience it through my daughter. Ghost of potential. Memory fog. And the wound of the pleaser's cage in reverse. Love earned through self-erasure in reverse. I'm writing myself back into this story, memory fog, so I can put myself back into the position to know what it feels like to receive it at that age. Ghost of potential. Who would I, as in the mother, be if that experience never happened to me? Which I guess if you think about it, kind of makes sense because this is describing someone whose mind is unable to let go of something. Like, I latch onto it and I'm like, I need to understand that, or I need to have that, and then I can't let it go. It gets obsessive. Similarly to what she literally did over the thousands of messages to the teenagers, you know what I mean? So it's like the brain is braining in the same way in a different category. Obsessive can't let go of things. Feels owed, feels entitled to things, which again lines up with her interviews where she's like, well, other people do illegal stuff too and don't get caught. Anyway, so I feel like in the beginning it was really about Lauren, and wanting the treatment, wanting Lauren to experience the treatment from Owen that the mother never got, that the mother feels like she had trauma because she never got it. So she can be all the way up in there energetically as Lauren gets this treatment in her brain. Okay, we can complete that cycle, check that off. Now I've gotten what I feel like is owed to me. And there's also that element of control, her wanting to control the situation now as an adult because she wasn't able to control the situation then when she was in it, when she was that age. All right. Initial harassment. The text started innocently but grew more disturbing. Show me the progression in 3 cards. Hmm. 9 of Pentacles in reverse, 5 of Wands, Justice in reverse. I'm codependent on the drama. Like, once I start, I can't stop. I am all of a sudden addicted to the drama. There's some deep avoidance of a particular mirror for the mother. And it's almost like she wanted to shatter that in Lauren so that Lauren never felt safe enough to look in that same mirror either. And it's around self-worth, but it's specifically self-respect. Um, it's like she wanted Lauren to depend on her for a mirror of self-respect. Like she wanted Lauren to not want to respect herself so that the mother could come and be like, "Oh no, respect yourself." Like it's like that. Um so it started innocently but grew more disturbing because she became addicted to the like once I get a taste of look, I have power over them. Because look, I'm doing something, they don't know it's me, and I see her sad or I see him stressed, boom, I have power. What is that doing? It's giving me back that semblance of power that I felt like I didn't have in that past situation that traumatized me, as in the mother. Um, then in September 2021, so it started in fall 2020, now we're in September 2021, Lauren and Owen began receiving 30 to 50 explicit and threatening texts per day. What triggered that jump? 3 cards. Queen of Wands, the Tower, and Queen of Cups all reversed. I know, right? Um, um it's like Lauren wasn't sad enough. Lauren, what, like the tower wasn't towering. This is the mom trying to cause drama. This is Lauren not drowning in her emotions. It's like she wasn't sad enough. She wasn't emotional enough. It wasn't affecting her enough. So that's when it escalated. What was the energy behind the escalation from the mother's perspective? It's like I wanna unleash the darkness. Like, there's still light here, and I wanna unleash the darkness. I want everything to turn upside down for her. It's like Lauren wasn't sad enough at home for the mother's liking, and it needed to escalate at that point. Um, the sender used personal details, her nickname Low, and private school-related knowledge, suggesting someone close. Why was that the approach? Why did she not make it seem more like a stranger? Four of Wands reversed, the Fool, 10 of Cups reversed. It's like 10 of, hold on one second. 10 of Cups is the happy family card, right? So it's like, I want you to not know who to trust outside of the house so that you don't try and trust anyone outside of the house and you only come to me. It was a monopoly on trust. That was my cat. Sorry. The mother was trying to create a monopoly on trust. Um So why did she use the personal details? Because she wanted Lauren to believe that it was someone very close to her so that she didn't trust anyone that was close to her. And it feels like the more that that didn't happen, the more things escalated because the mother wanted it to be like, oh no, you can't trust any of your friends. You can't trust any of your teammates or whatever else. Many messages were vulgar, sexualized, and included cruel insults and encouragement to unalive self and saying that Owen's life would be better if she was not here. Put these back in. When things escalated to that degree, I first want to know what was the mother's energy after sending it, and then I want to look at before. For some reason, I want to do it that way. What was the mother's energy after sending those kind of things? Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, Four of Swords. that's kind of giving, oh, I think it's going to work this time. It's going to undo any progress. It's going to make her feel very alone. It's going to make her isolate and hide. Yeah, it's going to cause a battle. So almost like proud of herself. Oh, dear Lord. Proud of herself for stopping, like almost this energy of like, huh, I let her off easy, or like, oh, I could have done worse because worse happened to me. That's what her mind is telling her. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse. I could have said more. I could have dug deeper because worse happened to me. But I don't think worse happened to her. I think that she just never let go of things and obsessed over them for so many decades that she made them out in her mind to be so much bigger than they actually were. I'm not saying she never went through anything, the mom, but I feel like it's not as to a degree that is what she has convinced herself in her mind. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It's like she's seeing it upside down or something. Um, the harassment severely affected both teens' mental health. The strain prompted their breakup and concern from parents and school officials. The moon, the sun, Six of Wands, King of Wands reversed, and death. I mean, I do feel like this is pointing towards Owen's perspective. He's like, I'm trying to turn this light on in this very dark situation. And Six of Wands makes me feel like he literally felt like he exhausted everything he could do. Like this kind of feels like from his perspective, he cared about her so much that it got to a point where for him it was like, I have to choose myself or you. Like I can't choose both because it's just too dark. Um King of Wands in reverse and death is like him feeling like he tried everything he possibly could to make this stop. I also feel like he feels like he tried everything he possibly could without bringing himself to his own demise, like to try and protect her. Like, obviously, he wasn't going to keep feeding into it when it was only making it increasingly worse to do so. But, like, how do I word this? I feel like if I was Owen, I would feel like I walked away with this with a clear conscience, knowing that I tried everything I could and that I really did care for Lauren. But there's only so much you can do when someone is literally walking around carrying the dark cloud and like not letting it go away from your head, which is what the mother was doing. Um, this energy is giving me like a severe headache. I wonder if that's why my cat, because my door was shut. My cat busted open my door and came and sat on my lap. Like, she, she like forced her way. She forced her way onto my lap. Um, and her name is Luna, and the moon came out first. Anyway, yeah, I just maybe that's Owen's headache I'm picking up on. Like this I just feel like he tried all he could. And I haven't watched the documentary yet, but I feel like that's how they depicted it anyway. But that's what I'm getting. Community suspicion and tension grew as authorities struggled to identify the harasser, with confusion rippling through the school. I don't know. Let's just see what comes out. I mean, it's almost like the mother got some kind of high off of that in itself, like feeling like she also had control over the people who were investigating because, oh, you can't figure me out. You're looking and it feels like she felt as though she was the one that was pulling the puppet strings. Um Get 3. Higher power. Control tactic in reverse. It's like God stepped in and was like, no, this can't continue, because it feels like this was so calculated. Like, I know that in some of the interviews she may seem a little bit like removed from intelligence. I don't know how else to word it, but I don't think it's that. I think she dumbs herself down to be like, oh well, anybody could have just been caught for anything. Like, no, that's calculated. That's part of this. This isn't just like blind spot in reverse, negotiation table in reverse, criminal network in reverse. Seeing clearly, this is like doing it alone. Negotiation table in reverse. I know that there's questions around if the father was a part of it or knew more. This kind of leads me to believe that he found out the extent of it around the same time as law enforcement. Or at the very least, did not partake in it. Is that fair to say? Yeah, 3 of Cups in reverse, Ace of Wands. I feel like he knew before they did, though. Like, he knew before the FBI did, but it's almost like he didn't have all the way proof, or there was gaslighting, or there was some falsified something. I feel like he didn't partake in it, though. And I also feel like this was, like, again, higher power card. It's like, you know, when someone accidentally says something or accidentally reveals something and you come to later realize, oh, that was like some form of divine protection. It's almost like she told on herself to him and he started looking into it, and then his timeline lined up with the investigator's timeline. That's at least how I see it. Yeah, it's like he was playing offense but was locked out. But 4 of Wands in reverse, something felt off, something felt upside down. So I don't think he was not aware that there was the potential, but I think he was looking into how high that potential was. That's what I'm getting. Let's look at when this was going on, the mother's energy, his energy, and the energy between. Like, not when it was unraveling, but when it was at its height. Mother's energy, putting down the burden, not telling my partner. His energy, private, lack of knowledge about what's going on with the child. I just don't feel like they worked together on this. I really don't. I feel like it's the mother. Again, I feel like there was suspicions and investigation, but I don't think that there was all the way proof from him to her. Energy between is healing. He's healing. He's needing to heal. I don't feel like they worked in cahoots with this. I really don't. Not the father and the mother. Do I think he knew before police? Yes. But do I think he had all the way proof? No. Okay. The FBI became involved when local law enforcement couldn't pinpoint the sender. Cyber forensic work, including IP tracing linked to spoofing apps, revealed the source was Lauren's own mother, Kendra. Two of Cups, the Lovers in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse. Again, I just feel like, yes, it was Kendra. I don't feel like it was a teamwork with her and the father, though. The reveal was captured in body cam footage and featured prominently in the documentary. took no actions that a mother would take and every action that a non-mother would take. I don't know. Not a mother. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Chose to lay down her rights to be a mother. Allegedly. Okay, so Kendra admitted she didn't send the initial round of messages, but got caught up in sending them. Ten of Swords reversed, Emperor, Four of Cups. Got caught up in the control that she felt over someone else's pain. I couldn't control my own pain, but I can control yours. And when you're not responding to how much pain I want you to be in, I'll just cause more. She explained she intended to trap the original sender, claiming unresolved trauma stemming from ASA at age 17 triggered her behavior. There's something when she's younger than that too, I feel. I don't think it started then. I think there's something when she was younger. No, I think she sent the initial messages. I mean, not that Lauren never got any other bullying. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it's like this entire thing, start to finish, was Kendra. This is a debt. She created her own debt. She fulfilled creating her own debt. Fully filled by her, start to finish, Kendra. So do I think that she was trying to trap the original sender at any point? Absolutely not. Because there wasn't one. One did not exist. Ten of Pentacles and Three of Cups in reverse is like not a team effort to dismantle your daughter's emotions. This was a family betrayal. Do I want to pull cards on that part? What shadow affected Lauren the most from her mother's shadows regarding that SA that she references? Hyper-aware mind. If the mother's mind is hyper-aware, which we can see could be the case by her actions, it's almost like she wanted to make Lauren's mind the same, but still live through her shoes as she received what the mother never got. I don't like that. I'm going to skip that part. Okay. Some observers speculated about Munchausen by proxy, like control mechanisms, though no diagnosis was official. This would be an unofficial diagnosis to me. Especially coupled with Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which could be like someone, that was the card that just came out for the family betrayal. Also, like, where else do I turn to? This is all I've ever known, even though it's not what I need it to be here. Where else do I turn? I would say that there's a high likelihood of that being the case, at least at some point. Because I know that in Annie's video, she was talking about how there's an interview Lauren gives in a pink, I think, outfit. And then there's one that she gives, I think she's wearing like a hoodie or something, or like a gray something. Anyway, Annie was saying how the times, I think this was Annie's video, was saying how the times of these were not the same, but they're made to appear as if they're similar times. And in one of them, she's saying, like, I love my mom. And then another one, she's a little bit more removed from it. I would say that pink one where she's saying how much she loves her mom, I feel like that was the height of this. There was like a difficult acceptance stage behind it, I guess. Kendra was arrested in December 2022, pleading guilty in 2023 to stalking a minor and related charges. It's like they're missing a charge that they could have charged. Like, yes, but it's missing something. But I feel like they didn't have the foundation for whichever charge is missing. I don't know what charges it was and what would be missing, but this is giving like they could have went a little harder. But I feel like it's one of those things where if they would have swung for this other charge and missed, it may have jeopardized the ones that they did get. And I feel like if they had 3 corners, they were missing one, and that makes it so the foundation isn't all the way solid in terms of that charge that would be missing. Maybe that'll make sense to somebody. But I feel like it's a very specific charge that's missing that if it would have been in there, it would have maybe doubled Kendra's burden of sentence or something. But it's missing because there's a corner missing from their provability of it. But I also get this feeling that, like, energetically, maybe that happened because to double it or whatever would have happened, maybe it would have because of the because we're still talking about the Munchausen. I'm not saying that right. But maybe if it would have been that full load of justice, maybe that would have triggered Lauren into guilt instead of healing. You know what I mean? Like maybe that happened the way it did and that other charge didn't come forth so Lauren could heal. I don't know. That's just kind of the feeling I get with that. Like it doesn't seem fair that that charge is missing, but at the same time, maybe it was what was best for Lauren's healing without feeling guilt because so much had been projected onto her purposefully. Okay. She was sentenced to 19 months to 5 years in prison, but was released on parole in August 2024. She is on supervision, some say until early 2026. Had her parental rights affected. What do they mean affected? That word should definitely be terminate, but I'll look into that later. Why is that word not terminated? Hold on. It does not mean her rights were permanently terminated, but rather that custody shifted. After her arrest and conviction, full custody of Lauren went to her father. Kendra no longer had legal custody or decision-making power. Visitation suspended, restricted. She wasn't allowed contact during her parole period. Any future contact would require legal approval and Lauren's consent. Ongoing supervision. Courts and CPS often keep restrictions in place after release. Potential long-term impact. Depending on Lauren's wishes and court decisions, Kendra may never again regain custody or supervised visitation. In some cases, parental rights can be formally terminated, but in this instance, it appears they were limited and suspended rather than fully revoked. Can you put your head back down, please? Take a nap. Why? Defending things taking an even worse turn, I think, for Lauren. I don't know. I guess it's like Lauren's higher self knew what she would need to be able to heal to the maximum of what's potential for her to heal. I don't know. So there wasn't some kind of false start. All right, let's move past that. Um 1 second. Lauren and Kendra haven't had contact during parole. Lauren remains cautious but expressed tentative interest in reconciling in the future. What are her current feelings about that right now? It's like she still longs, I feel like, for that almost like a validation that it wasn't because she wasn't enough, and she feels like there's certain validation that she can only get from her mother, but she can only get it from her mother after her mother has learned her lesson and like completed a cycle. So it's almost like, how do I if I could answer this from Lauren's perspective, it's almost like I would say something like, I will know if and when my mother is communicating differently, if she is showing up as a different person. I'll know if she's different than the version of her that didn't have this lesson learned. And it's almost like Lauren doesn't want the validation from her mother. She just wants to know that her mother is changed by this. And that in and of itself is the validation. Like Lauren doesn't need her mother to be like, it was never your fault. And almost like the mother saying that wouldn't do anything to Lauren anyway. The mother actually having a shift in her energy would be the validation that Lauren would need for Lauren to be like, okay, it really wasn't my fault. Or I really was just a mirror for someone who was viewing themselves as not enough. Um, it does feel like, I know this is going to sound corny, but it feels like Lauren's an old soul, like someone who was in this position, because this is traumatic, okay? Like, this has to be very traumatic for her to be reliving all of this with the entire world viewing it as entertainment. So I feel like, and even if you are like, caring for her, it still is being viewed as entertainment. It's an entertainment channel, right? Um so I don't know, I just feel like it's something that only an old soul, someone who's here for a big purpose, someone who is a walking mirror for others. That was the problem with her mother. She held up a mirror that her mother wasn't ready to look into. Um I don't know. I guess I would say it feels to me like the interest in potentially reconciling is Lauren wanting to give her mother enough time, space, and opportunity so that when Lauren does have a communication point with her in the future, Lauren's looking to see, are you different now than you were then? Are you talking differently? Are you energetically, is your signature different? Like, have you actually changed from what you did to me? Um, are you taking accountability, or are you still saying, well, everybody does bad stuff? Like, those things I feel is why Lauren hasn't shut the door. It doesn't feel like it's anything for her mother. It feels like it's for herself. Like, she wants the opportunity to not shut that door completely so that she can have the opportunity to see, did this affect this person? Like, did she actually change from this? So maybe that's why, like, the court didn't, obviously they wouldn't have made the decision for that reason, but I'm saying, like, the spiritual influence, maybe that's why that door was able to be left open where things weren't permanently blocked. Um so that Lauren knows that she has the opportunity, if and when she's ready to open that door of communication and be like, did you change or not? Because if not, I'm slamming it in your face. And hopefully she does. She has every right to do, you know what I mean? But I feel like because of how much was projected onto her, this is how Lauren's higher self is helping her avoid feeling guilty for what someone else did to her. Because from such a young age, her brain was trained to turn on itself at its own expense so somebody else could be okay, right? So I don't know. I don't know if that answers any question that I asked myself, but that is what I'm getting. Um, I feel like that's why there's been tentative interest expressed in potentially reconciling in the future. Owen has moved on and now attends college while Lauren plans to study criminology. Owen has moved on and now attends college. What can we know about Owen's I was going to say mindset. So we have Ace of Swords in reverse, Nine of Pentacles, the Lovers. I guess I'd say from Owen's mindset, trying to figure out where I fit now, because I know that I'm different from others because of what I've experienced, and especially now so that it's out there right now on a public platform, just being put in everyone's little phone box. Confusion about where I fit feels to be the energy. Owen has moved on and attends college. This is like, I'm trying real hard to blend in, knowing I stand out and have a regular experience now that was stripped from me back then. Lauren plans to study criminology. Mastery of the battle she fought so she can turn it into her passion and transmute it. It makes sense, is what I would say with these cards. That makes sense. She has a perspective that allows her to approach things differently. So I feel like she'll do very well in that. And it will also help her transmute the energy that was put in her from her mother's energy. Almost like she needs that level of understanding, or some level of understanding that she'll attain through this process, even if she decides to go a different route. Whatever knowledge she attains is how her higher self has chosen to transmute this energy. Like, in order to feel it fully, I'll feel it little by little as I process it intellectually. Okay, I understand that. Okay, it brings up these memories and emotions. I'm feeling it, but I'm feeling it from a place of intellectually understanding it. It's like, that's the integration, that's the transmutation for her. How she gets rid of the darkness that her mother sprayed into her whole energy field, I guess you'd say. Um The film premiered on August 29th, 2025. Give me Lauren's energy before the premiere and since the premiere. It's been what? About a August 29th, about a week and a half ish, a little bit more, almost 2 weeks. Okay, so Lauren's energy before it came out. Facing forward, but not really sure which direction to head, but trying to make decisions. So Lauren's energy before it came out. I'm feeling energized to take action, and I'm trying to figure out which direction I should take said action in. Since the documentary came out, defending myself in the public eye, it's harder than I thought it was going to be. What element about it is hard? I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, it's going to feel different once it's actually out versus like when you're just thinking about it or conceptualizing it. But like, what piece of it is harder than she expected? My cat's head caught that. Huh. So the effects that are not lessening about the family observation, like, so how people are viewing, perceiving, and talking about the family, right? It's like obviously she knew that that wasn't going to be pleasant, but I feel like it's heavier than she even anticipated. And then in my brain, I was like, but maybe it's because like the way that people are talking about the father as well. But then Queen of Swords came out. That's speech about the mother. Um, I feel like what is harder for her since it's been out than she realized was going to be before it came out is like the way that she is looking at things from different perspectives because of what she's seeing people saying, right? It's like, it's not that people are just ripping the mom apart, because I'm sure that she fully knew that was coming. Okay, that's not a surprise to anybody. But it's the intelligent points that people are making that maybe she didn't think of before, or maybe she was afraid to look at before. It's the way that she's taking things and thinking about them in her own mind, and it's making her see different perspectives about things that are hard. um Almost like if before Lauren was able to excuse certain things away that her mother did, the way that the internet is articulating the explanation of the mother is making it harder for Lauren to even explain away in her own mind, making any excuses or lessening the impact from her mother. Almost like if before she was able to be like, okay, it's my mom's trauma, like it wasn't personal. It's like now, and I don't feel like it is. I really feel like it's personal from the mother to the mother, but it's personal in a way that was reflected directly at the daughter. So I just feel like because of the way that people are talking, it's making it hard for Lauren to not take it more personally than she was able to excuse away before. I don't know if I explained that right, but that's what I'm getting. Like, it's not necessarily people are being mean to her mom and she's upset. It's the way that people are putting things together and connecting dots in Lauren's own mind that weren't connecting in that way before. That's making her realize exactly how dark her mother is and how calculated her mother is. That's what I'm getting. Um, what about the mother? The mother's energy before it came out and since it's been out. And this is take the whole court thing aside, right? Just the mother's energy in reference to the world hasn't seen the documentary yet to okay, now the world has seen it. What about before? Before is this energy of okay, I know I'm gonna feel anticipation of being singled out by everyone's communication. You know how all those years or however many years she hyper focused on ruining the daughter? This is like ever since I knew the documentary was a thing, I hyper focused on preparing myself to be singled out, which makes sense. And strength in reverse, it's like that consumed her. The docu-series consumed the mother to the same degree that the stalking did. Almost in a way that's like I detach from the fact that my daughter is still needing to heal from this, and I just focus solely on how this docu-series is going to affect me. That was the bigger battle in her mind. Like, not, hey, my daughter's probably going to be even more traumatized in this documentary than I am because she's the victim. But this is like, I completely detach from that. And I'm like, oh, woe is me. I'm going to be singled out. I want to put those cards back in case they want to come back out. And how does she feel since the documentary? Rightfully so. What can I say to make people not view me as this big of a monster? Looking ahead, what seeds can I plant so that I can regain some kind of value in people's eyes? Essentially, how can I highlight any previous victimization of my own self so that people aren't as mad at me? Me, me, me. Okay, so that was my whole list. So again, I haven't watched the docuseries. I only watched Annie's comparison type thing. I'll have to find it and link it in the description. She mentioned in there about how people from the town that this happened in are discussing a potential possibility that Lauren herself, maybe towards the end, or maybe more than that, was in on some pieces of it or feeding into it or something like that. And then at the end, that Kendra decided to kind of take all the blame to try and make up for it. Let's word this as, is there any possibility that Lauren herself played a role in this? Because there was one point where Kendra said maybe she did it herself. What's the potential of any truth to that? What is the vulnerable tower? Vulnerable tower of information. The vulnerable tower of information is something being made public. Lauren did what because she did not want something to become public? Lauren did what? Didn't give some kind of information to the police. Lauren didn't give some kind of information to the police, but what? But knew. Knew or participate? Is it that by the time the police were looking into this heavily, that Lauren knew it was her mom but didn't say anything because of fear of that coming out to the public? So essentially, was it like a waste of police resources, or was this Lauren feeding into it and then at the end being like, oh no, we're caught? So these are both about making a decision. This is a decision made when the blindfold comes off. This is a decision made between two different options. So when the blindfold came off, I chose love instead of shadows. And then when two options were presented, I chose innocence instead of shadows. So this to me is Lauren knew that it was her mom by the time the police were closing in, but purposefully did not give certain information that would have made it more obvious it was her mom. But this to me is Lauren didn't participate or find joy in this. This was just like a last minute, now that I know, let's try and prevent it from getting even worse. Is that fair to say? Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. Like protect your own even if they betrayed you. It feels like that. Now we have 9 of Cups with Death in reverse, and my cat just finally left my lap. So it's like again, it's like not wanting to make the situation worse. What change was being resisted to keep things okay? Moving forward towards the mother. Yeah, I don't think Lauren participated in this or found some kind of like thrill out of this. I do think that she was aware it was her mother, like when they told her who it was. I don't think it was a complete shock. I think by that point she knew. But I think there was this, like, I'm trying to process, what do you mean it was you? Or what do you mean it was her? However it came to her. And I just think there's this like freeze state and maybe a lack of realizing exactly how far it would go and what it would mean to not give certain information to police. I don't know. That's just what I'm getting. So I wouldn't go as far to say that the claims of Lauren being involved in this are true. I don't think that. Do I think she knew before police had told her what the deal was? I do. I don't think they were telling her news that she didn't already know, allegedly. I think I have to watch the thing now, unfortunately, to ask more questions. Um, I really don't want to. Maybe I'll do videos as I go. Let's pull 5 from, oh, Sorry. 5 from whispers and 5 from echoes to close this out for now. What's most important for us to know or confirm or something? No witnesses in reverse. Wanted everybody to see. Oh, yeah, camera footage. Wanted everybody to see. Obstruction or interference. She wanted to be the hero. She wanted everyone to see her coming in and saving her daughter. Empty safe. She wanted everyone to see someone needing her. Look, I'm needed. I'm a fixer. Physical evidence. Look, I'm needed. I'm a fixer. Here's physical evidence of it. Look, my daughter's in a crisis and I come in and save the day. I help the police. I figure it out. But like, I think her way of figuring it out was being like, oh, we put so much pressure on the person that they finally stopped, which is a manifestation of her needing that much pressure in order to give up on something she's not supposed to be doing. No witnesses in reverse. So seeing what? Routine, habit, typical, alarm clock. She wanted everyone to see her daughter being alarmed so that they could get the picture of what? Of what's going on, like the inside seeping out. Everyone's seeing clearly what's going on. Obstruction, interference, self-sabotage in reverse, caregiver, medical staff. She wanted it to look like Lauren was just not stable, so she could come in and be the one to take care of things. And she could be the one to block the problem from Lauren. Empty safe. School. She didn't learn her lesson. She never learned her lesson from all the way back then. She just held on to it and took it out on the world, specifically her daughter, as revenge. Physical evidence. She wanted everybody to see what? Follow the money. It's obvious. Queen of Pentacles. She wanted to be viewed as the Queen of Pentacles, the fixer, the one who brings value to the home life. Except she was the complete opposite. That's what I'm getting. I have to watch it to do any more on this. But I'm back to true crime. I'm going to try and get at least one video out a week. We're going to try to increase that, but I'm going to start with that. There's a members live tomorrow. I accidentally had that still scheduled for today. I thought I rescheduled it, but it never saved. So that'll be tomorrow at 10:30. I do have a couple copies of the Echoes deck left from this pre-order. The next shipment will be in probably the end of the month or beginning of next month. There is a giveaway we're doing for Bethany's Unsilenced Journal that ends on 9/11. You can enter till 9/11. If you go on my STAN.STORE, you'll see the description of that. You can win an hour-long video call with myself and Bethany. I think that is it. Thank you for watching. Please remember, all of this is alleged, my opinion, not fact. I'm not in a rush to watch this. I need to wait until I have a week where I don't have a lot going on, so that if I get mad, it doesn't affect the rest of the stuff, because I have a tendency to really hold on to things like this, and my brain wants to understand the whole psychology of it. So I need to wait until I have a minute to allow myself to do that, to watch it. So give me a couple weeks, please. But I do have that list where I asked everyone what readings you want to see. So I'm going to start going through that list. I just wanted to do this first so that when I randomly feel like I can watch it, then I can do that. I think that's all. My brain ran out of juice. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the next one.